Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Barakahak Wadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. In peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure to the end. This is the brother Ra'aya coming at you with another lesson. I'm going to start it off in Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And that devil or deceiver is speaking of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And as it said, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. Hey, there's some of you, sincere brothers and sisters out there. Hey, speaking to myself as well, we could very well end up in a detention center, concentration camp, you name it. But as it said, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. If that happens to be our lot, and also to be a martyr or a witness for this truth happens to be our lot, hey, then so be it. Endure those things like a good soldier of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, unto the bitter end, and you will be of that elect number. But I opened up the video with this verse to preface this article on themirror.com titled, ICE Planning to Detain Thousands in Warehouses, New Draft Memo Shows. The internal ICE draft memo reveals that the government organization is eyeing contracts with private detention companies that would be able to detain 80,000 immigrants in large warehouses across multiple states. And this whole illegal immigration thing is being used as the perfect front to roll in what? A police state. Draconian measures, digital IDs, surveillance, you name it. And as we're going to read in this article, even more detention centers are going to pop up to house, so-called illegal immigrants. You had Alligator Alcatraz. Nero 47 was talking about opening up the original Alcatraz. Up in Nebraska, they have the Cornhusker Clink. And, they're being used to, hold illegal immigrants now. But best believe it's going to trickle down to other people that are deemed, enemies of the state. Those that go against the government, patriots, left-wing people, activists. But especially, the main target of this devil, the men of the Lord, out on the highways and byways preaching this word, as well as putting up video epistles like this, chiefly the men of GMS. Because as it says in Matthew chapter 24, verse 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. By us simply preaching this word, we're exposing Esau for the devil that he is, and it's bringing about the end of his rulership. So he's about to come down in great wrath, as it says in Revelation 12, verse 12, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And as I opened up in Revelation 2, verse 10, the devil will cast some of us into prison that we may be tried. But the article reads, a new internal U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, draft memo reveals that ICE plans to detain close to 100,000 immigrants in large warehouses in at least 7 states. And also, another thing, when Nero 47 was really ramping up this immigration, detainment, and deportations, he was saying, look, we've got our own homegrown criminals here that we may need to look into detaining and deporting. Who do you think he was talking about? You Israelites, that are citizens in America, especially, the Southern Kingdom, the so-called Negroes, so-called Black African American. And we know they're already getting ready to ramp up, harassing, so-called Haitians, Dominicans, Jamaicans, which, are the Southern Kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And you don't think just like, some Northern Kingdom or so-called Latinos who are actually citizens got rounded up because they were believed to be illegal, you don't think that's going to happen to, your Southern Kingdom as well? So while, hey, this devil is going to be coming after the men of the Lord, hey, he's going to be coming after the entire nation as a whole, because this devil has that perpetual hatred towards you Israelites. And again, since he knoweth that he hath but a short time, as it says in Ezekiel chapter 21, the slayer is about to pull out that sword one last time to commit a great slaughter on you Israelites. We're coming into the times of Jacob's trouble. According to the draft memo, the Nero 47 administration is seeking contractors to aid in its plan to renovate industrial warehouses that would hold over 80,000 immigrant detainees at a time. The draft memo is subject to change. If this plan were to be implemented, it would alter the way U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, officers operate, particularly in their methods of transporting detainees. Currently, ICE transports detainees across the country to the facilities that have space available. The document states that ICE aims to accelerate deportations by establishing a deliberate feeder system, reports the Washington Post. Newly arrested detainees would be booked into smaller processing sites and held there for a few weeks before being transferred to one of the 7 large-scale warehouses, each with a capacity of 5,000 to 10,000 people, where they would await deportation. The large warehouses would be located near major logistics hubs in Virginia, Texas, Louisiana, so down here, which, in Alexandria, they have a big private airport used by ICE to, detain and deport, illegal immigrants. Arizona, Georgia, and Missouri, according to the Post. 16 smaller warehouses would hold up to 1,500 people each. The Post reviewed an internal email that revealed ICE plans to share the memo with private detention companies this week to assess interest and refine the plan. A formal request for bids may be issued shortly thereafter. So with this article, you get the point. But hey, this devil is ramping up to come down upon the nation of Israel. Hey, he's already getting it in with the Northern Kingdom, and best believe the Southern Kingdom is going to be next. As we have a saying in GMS, Northern Kingdom gets it first, Judah the worst. And in the midst of that, he's going to be coming against, the men of the Lord, the hopeful elect. Again, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that ye may be tried. But as it also said, hey, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Let's get back into these precepts. This is Matthew chapter 10. I'm going to start at I'll start at verse 17. But the header reads, a hard road before them, but beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. So if you're getting delivered up somewhere, what does that mean? You're taken out of your house, you're snatched up on the streets and brought to a facility before you're brought before the councils, before men. And as I said, they will scourge you in their synagogues. Some brothers may go through, some forms of torture in these prisons that they'll be cast into. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake. Brought before the mayor of your city, the governor, hell, Nero 47 himself. Hey, some brothers may be brought before the actual elites for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. So, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is going to be with his elect to, through every, point of the process, to the point to where, we won't even have to think about what we're going to say to these devils. as a testimony unto them. The Lord is going to put it on our spirit exactly what they need to hear, to cut them to the bone in the spirit. But I'm going to close it out in 2nd Esdras chapter 16. I'm going to start at verse 68, because while I've been mainly going into the persecution coming against the men of the Lord and those of the elect, hey, this devil is coming against, 2/3 of our wicked people as well. But the difference being, you're not going to have that hedge around you, that spirit to endure these things. You're going to be completely open to what this devil has in store for you. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And that's another thing, there's very good reason to believe that at some point these detention, well, not at some point, but they will, these detention facilities, these concentration camps, places where people are going to be brought, are going to have C-hip stations in them, to where this devil's going to tell you, look, you want to leave, you want to get some food, go back, to living a normal life, get this micro C-hip in you, which is the mark of the BEAST in Revelation 13, verses 16 to 18. But as it's about to say, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. Hey, you're going to get judged for it. And ultimately by what? That fire. In Revelation 14, verses 9 to 10, those nuclear missiles. Verse 70, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, the time of Jacob's trouble. And, ultimately it's the elect that truly fear Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. But, our people, even though they're wicked, they still have some form of spirituality about them and believe in a higher power. As it says in, I think it's Romans chapter 7 or chapter 10, they have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. So there's going to be a great insurrection upon the entire nation. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. These ICE agents, troops, whether foreign or domestic, mercenaries, and lest we forget all these robots that are being built right now. Verse 72, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses, to bring them where? To the prisons, the detention centers, the warehouses. But then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. While 2/3 of our people are going to be at the whims of these devils, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai is going to be with his elect to the end, whatever that end may be. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Take no thought what ye shall speak, for the Spirit of the Lord shall put it in your mouth what to speak. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, which we can clearly see. But I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide. Point blank, period. And, while, this lesson has been on a darker subject matter, of, those of the elect facing death for following this word, hey, there's going to be a lot more of the elect that are going to make it all the way to the chariots than they are, being martyrs on this side. But that is a reality for us who have put our hand onto the plow. So we always have to, keep that in our spirit, that may be our lot. But regardless, just enduring to the end, you will receive that crown of life. But that's it with this video. With this video, I hope you sincere, Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. We are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babol, Kwam Yasharallah,